Hi everybody, welcome back to Tip Tuesday, and this week we're going to talk about how to go about building a well-rounded 6-ball arsenal. The first thing you have to decide is how you're going to shoot at your spares. Are you the bowler that takes your strike ball and just flattens out your hand? Do you use urethane or a spare ball? That's going to determine which direction you need to go when building your arsenal. One of the most important things to know before you start building any arsenal is knowing the difference between what an asymmetrical ball is going to do and what a symmetrical ball is going to do. And what I mean by that is, what are they going to do when they encounter friction? Asymmetrical bowling balls, those cores tend to want to be a little bit harder off of your break point when it encounters friction. And symmetrical balls typically want to be just a little bit smoother. These are really important to know when you're deciding which balls you're going to put in your arsenal. If you are unsure whether your ball is an asymmetrical ball or a symmetrical ball, there's two things that you can do. One, you can simply go onto the company's bowling ball website and you can just look at the specifications of the bowling ball. The second thing you can do is just look at the cover of the bowling ball. It's going to have either 2 or 3 markings on it. If it has 3 markings on it, you're going to see the pin, the CG, and the mass bias. That means it's an asymmetrical ball. If it has 2 markings on it, it's going to be a pin and the CG. That means it's a symmetrical ball. So simply just look at the cover of that bowling ball and you should be able to tell really quickly whether the ball that you have is a symmetrical or asymmetrical. Now that we know the difference between an asymmetrical and symmetrical core, let's start at the top of the arsenal and work our way down, meaning strongest balls. What I would suggest doing is making sure that you have 1 strong, dull asym and 1 strong, dull symmetrical. A lot of times I will see people that have 2 strong, dull asyms and they won't have a strong symmetrical, or vice versa. What happens when you do that is you're kind of eliminating a ball motion that you may need depending on what lane conditions you're encountering. Now that we've worked out what we're going to do with our most aggressive bowling balls, we need to start working our way down through the middle of our arsenal to help us for when that transition hits. What you really want to do is make sure that you have covers in your bag that are going to be a little bit cleaner and will encounter friction a little bit differently. So the way to do that is making sure that you have a shiny asymmetrical ball and a shiny symmetrical ball. All right, you guys, 4 balls down, 2 to go. If you remember when I first started this whole tip, we talked about that some people need to determine how they're going to shoot at their spares, whether you have a spare ball, a urethane ball, or you just flatten out your hand. So if you're one of those people that uses a spare ball like me, you may only have 1 strike ball left to fill out your arsenal. And so this ball is going to fall into place when the lane is hooking its most, where there's a lot of friction on the lane. And so you don't need that big, strong core to make sure that it comes off the spot. So this is where you want your cleanest, weaker, symmetrical bowling ball. That's gonna really help round out from the top of the arsenal all the way to the bottom. So for some of you out there, your arsenals are complete because you use a spare ball and or a urethane. So that's gonna be the 6th ball that you fill to complete your arsenal. But for those people that use their strike ball for their spare ball, you used to have 1 ball left. So what I would suggest doing is feeling it out of where you think the biggest gap is between equipment, and you can fill that with a medium to strong symmetrical ball or a medium to strong asymmetrical ball, and then maybe then you just play with the surfaces a little bit to fill those gaps. So I really hope this helps. Good luck out there, and we'll see you guys next week.